Hey everyone, great to see you guys again. Hope you're all enjoying your day, and I hope you're all excited for the NBA draft tonight. And that's just what I want to look at. I want to, again, keep in the theme of things like yesterday, and I'd just like to talk about the last 5 first overall picks in the NBA, and where they are now, and if they lived up to the hype, and some of the interesting things early on in their career. Now, so we're just going to get started, get right into it, because it's going to lead up to the draft tonight. So we're going to start with last year's draft, with 2019. Now, with the first overall pick last year, the New Orleans Pelicans selected Zion Williamson out of Duke. And so he played one whole year at Duke and was selected first overall. And he tore his meniscus early in a preseason game, which ruled him out for a couple of months. Now, everyone was still very excited about Zion Williamson because he had some of the exact same kind of hype that was coming from him as LeBron James when he came in 2003. And we were hearing about Zion Williamson for a couple years now, and that is very similar to LeBron James and the fact that LeBron was being chosen, he was being touted as the next great one, and he was still 16 years old at the time. And kind of similar hype, not the next great one or anything like that, is Zion being called, but he's definitely going to be called one of the best, most exciting prospects ever to come out of the draft. Now, so he made his NBA debut, and he only played 18 minutes, and he finished with 22 points, 7 rebounds, scoring 17 consecutive points in 3 minutes and 8 seconds, all during the fourth quarter. So he would later become the first teenager in NBA history to score 20-plus points in 10 consecutive games to start off his career. And so Zion's career high so far was on March 1st, and he scored a career-high 35 points, 7 rebounds in a 122-114 loss to the Lakers. And in my opinion, he definitely has lived up to the hype. Although it was a shortened season and he had an injury early on, he's definitely someone who's everyone's looking forward to seeing next season in the next few weeks. And he's so exciting to watch. He's just so strong, and just when he goes to the basket, and even when it looks like he's not going to be able to make it, he makes contested shots. And it's not like a shot that he usually takes. It's more of a, I'm going to go straight through you and I'm going to put the ball in the basket. And he is only going to get better. He's only going to get stronger. And I hope everyone is excited as I am to watch this guy dominate the league for years to come. Now, looking back to 2018, DeAndre Ayton made his NBA debut in a season opener. It was October 17th, 2018, and he started off by earning a double-double, 18 points and 10 rebounds, and as well as season-high 6 assists and a steal, along with a block. And he started his first NBA game that day, too. He started and played 36 minutes, and they won 121-100 over the Dallas Mavericks. So he was among 3 finalists for Rookie of the Year and was selected to the All-Rookie team, and that sealed off a great rookie season for DeAndre Ayton. And moving on to 2019-20, he started off being suspended. He had a substance violation and was tagged with a 25-game suspension, and there wasn't much explanation for what happened, but it wasn't like a performance-enhancing drug, and he claimed that he didn't have any knowledge of how it got into his system. He's able to really stretch the floor and make guys respect his mid-range jump shot, as well as having great footwork, being able to get to the basket athletically, drawing fouls. He's definitely showing that centers can still be effective and skills can be first overall picks. Now, going back to 2017, a lot of people know, and a lot of people forget who the first overall pick was that year, and that was Markelle Fultz. Now, Markelle Fultz's early career has been full of non-transparency and a lot of confusion from teammates, coaches, and fans. So no one knew really what was going on with him, and I think people still don't really know. The only person that really knows is him. So he was selected first overall by the Philadelphia 76ers in 2017, as the Boston Celtics traded that pick to move down, and they selected Jason Tatum. Now, maybe they knew something. Maybe they saw something in him or heard some rumors going around of that he wasn't going to be reliable health-wise. So to move down in the draft when you have the first overall spot was something that I think was smart on their part. So he was injured or unable to play for almost his entire time in Philadelphia as he had shoulder problems, and he changed his shooting form mid-game, as that was the first time people saw him change it. And it had a very strange hitch to it, and it looked like he was very uncomfortable shooting the ball, as he had a very nice looking jump shot before, a very effective one, and his free throw, he was a very good free throw shooter. So it was kind of confusing to everyone why he would change something that was that good to something that was that bad. Now, so that was the first time it came out that he had an injury. They said he did have a shoulder injury, and they never really gave him a timeline of when he was coming back. And there were rumors going around of that he had different things wrong with it, or that he injured himself in something unrelated. And basically the media came up with that he just simply forgot how to shoot. And I think that was just they were grasping for straws because they weren't getting much information fed to them. Now in 2018, 2019, he was diagnosed with thoracic outlet syndrome, which it severely affected his ability to shoot. And basically thoracic outlet syndrome is when part of the shoulder is pinching down on the nerves and the arteries, and it makes it extremely uncomfortable and painful for him to do the basketball shooting motion. Now, obviously, he was traded to Orlando Magic on February 7th, 2019, and he was showing signs of a resurgence. So clearly, they in some way made it more comfortable for him to shoot because his shooting stroke is back to almost normal. So somehow they treated it, and this isn't really a common injury with basketball players, but this is more of a common injury with baseball players. So they do have, it's not the end of the world, they do have ways of dealing with it, but I think he was under a lot of pressure as the first overall pick, having to perform and be that guy, especially with all the expectations for him. And I think they just wanted it to be a hush-hush situation and say, no, he's fine, because no one wants to be in the history books of having their first overall pick be a flop, which I don't think he's a flop, but he's always going to be looked back on this draft year as someone who didn't pan out as they should have. I'm pulling for him to have a great career, and if he wins a championship one day in his career, he's going to be a guy that deserves it more than almost anyone because he has been through so much in his early career. And I think the resurgence of him in Orlando this year is just the start of something special. Now back to 2016, the 76ers had back-to-back first overall picks. So the year earlier, they drafted Ben Simmons with that pick, and he missed this entire season. He wasn't expected to or anything like that, but he rolled his ankle in a preseason game, and initially he was ruled out for 4 months. But after another MRI on his foot, it was found not have healed. So they told him he was out for the season, and it was more of a broken foot. Now, when he came in for his actual rookie year, the next year, everyone doubted that he was even going to be in the conversation for the Rookie of the Year, but he definitely shattered expectations very early, posting multiple double-doubles and some triple-doubles early on. So when it was all said and done after that season, he did win Rookie of the Year, and following an All-Star selection the year after. The only thing with Simmons is that he hasn't shown any significant growth in his game. It's been very static and stagnant. So if you look at his points totals, he's been hanging around the same point production and point totals since his rookie year. And that's just something that was a little disappointing. And especially from Sixers fans, they're trying to see if this is all he's going to be, which what he is right now is a good NBA player, but is he going to be that first overall pick caliber that can be that beast in the Eastern Conference and carry the Sixers to the finals and beyond? That's something that he's going to have to do, and he has to work on his shot. That's something that in the NBA you cannot survive long term because he relies a lot on his strength and athleticism. Now with him, he's shown the reluctancy to take those shots. He has made it public that he doesn't want to take those shots all the time, but he has been practicing, and it seemed like he tried a couple shots early on in the season, and then he just kind of went back to his old self. I don't think he hasn't lived up to expectations. I think he did in the first 2 years, but I think if he wants to live up to that career expectation, he's going to have to pull it together and find some improvement. So to 2015, and the team that's going to draft first overall tonight, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they had the first overall selection in 2015, and they selected Karl Anthony Towns. Now, since 2015, Towns has been the best player on the Timberwolves, although there were some times where his work ethic was brought into question, especially by Jimmy Butler in his season there. You could say maybe Andrew Wiggins had a season where he was better than Towns, but obviously never efficiency-wise, because Wiggins shot a lot more volume shots than quality shots or close shots like Towns would. Now, Towns is perfect guy to build your team around, and I think that if he gets a good player tonight, that this team really can retool, because maybe Andrew Wiggins and Towns and anyone else who just came in was not a good fit for the organization, and they need to manage their assets a little better this time. And I know historically the Minnesota Timberwolves never do that, but they have a chance to do that tonight. Now, each year he's gotten better and better, but the past season was his best statistical year. This was his career high in points per game. He definitely has lived up to the hype, but again, it's just because the market he plays in that a lot of people forget he even exists, unless something happens or a big highlight happens or they're on national television. But that's a chance you get to really appreciate Towns' skill set. Now, will the first overall pick be enough to make the Wolves good again? No, I don't think that will be enough. But again, it's asset management. That's going to be something that they're going to have to use and manage to the best of their ability, and we'll see who they take tonight. If Anthony Edwards goes first overall, can that be what gets them there? Hello. For anyone that hasn't met him, this is Casper. He was just sleeping and he decided to come up. He's going to be watching the draft with me tonight. A little sleepy. Right? I have to give him attention. But I hope everyone enjoys the draft tonight, and everyone who has a pick in the early rounds, good luck to you all. Good luck to everyone who's being drafted tonight, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how it pans out, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later.